Okay, so we're back. I've got all of this Swiss cheese and the bottom of this spare tire well that I got to deal with. So this is what we got. It's kind of perforated here. Somebody made a patch here, 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 and here. Now, the thing with this area is my client doesn't use it as a spare tire well. He uses it to put a fuel cell inside. So I don't need to have all of these little brackets that hold the jack and all this other happy crap. I just need to make this sealed. So what I'll probably do is just make a piece to cover this whole inside, weld it in, and we should be good. I got a piece of sheet metal, sheared it, square obviously, and then what I did was I found my center point and I used a piece of string, made myself a circle. Now I have a 24-inch circle. I offset it a little bit to one side because I have a few little holes over here that a little bit further protruded than they are in the rear. So now I've got this all cut. I'm probably gonna take this piece off. I'm gonna dress the edges because it's a little rough from the cutting wheel. And then I've got some bosses that are stamped into, see if you can see it from the other side. Yeah, so these bosses here are stamped into this original spare tire well. So I'm gonna work on seeing if I can dolly those flat so it's much easier for me to get my steel to lay flat on this contour. I'm going to try and contour this, bend it all the way around so it fits on there well. It's going to take a little finagling, it's going to take some hammer and dolly work and some bending, but I'd like to see if I could keep this pretty flat and then round this over, weld it to the outside and blend it right in. And then once I can do that, I think what I'd like to do is probably cut the center of it out and then pop this on there, weld the outside, weld it again on the inside, and then grind it smooth, and now have a nice clean piece here. But we'll just work at it, and it's kind of a as you go kind of plan, I guess. Okay, so this is my piece that's gonna go over onto here. I've cut some reliefs so that I can get these areas flat so that I can just roll my piece. Now I've taken my piece and I've kind of hand formed the whole edge of it. Looks like a really bad pizza sheet, but I formed it around a socket, a couple other round objects that I had, but now you can see it's got these, waves in it, almost like a pie does when you squeeze the top of your pie to put the lid on. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it in my shrinker, and I'm going to see if I can squeeze these out and shrink this area all the way around out so that I can get that pie plate to lay right against here perfectly. And that's what's going on right now. So this is what my piece looks like before I put it in the shrinker. This is what it looks like after I work it in the shrinker, and I'm going to set up the other camera and I'm going to show you how I do this. Okay, so here is my shrinker. Here is my pie tin. This is the section that I already worked. These are the sections where it's all wanky and wavy. So what I do is I just put the edge of this into my shrinker, and as I compress this handle, what it does is it kind of puts a little bit of a kink into the metal, almost like a pie tin. Like when you look at the top of a pie tin. And I'm just going to take this and I'm going to walk this all the way around. Now it might not be perfect, but I can work it with the hammer and a dolly afterwards if I need be. The biggest thing right now is that I have the curvature that I need without having all of the wrinkles that I don't need. Like if you look at this, it's got a nice curvature to it, and I'll periodically be bringing this in, comparing it to the car, and then coming back. So it's looking pretty good. I just got to be careful. I might be getting a little overzealous with this thing and making a little bit more of a curve than I need. just going to kind of ease up on my curvature a little bit. The closer you are to the edge with the jaws, the more curvature you end up with. Kind of a hard piece to handle. I'm almost there. Okay, so here's my piece all formed up. As you can see, it's got a nice transition coming into my spare tire well. So what I'm going to do now is, now that I got this fitting really well, is I am going to take and probably add some more screws to suck this thing right up to my part, my wheelhouse, and then I can start thinking about welding it. Once I'm welded, I can go on the inside and cut all of this rusty crap. I'll just cut that out, and then I'll weld this piece, the inner piece, to my outer piece, and I'll have a replacement piece that's perfect. I got it on here with some sheet metal screws. I use the sheet metal screws because I can draw my two pieces together with the strength of the screws. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start working this on here. So I'm going to tack it and kind of hammer it along this edge and put pressure, because what I really want to do is I want to have kind of a rounded edge going all the way around here. So as I weld it, I will continue to work it and hammer on it and get a nice smooth transition. Okay, so I got my piece all fitted on, and I actually pretty well like it. I mean, I sucked it in with some screws. I kind of worked my edges a little bit, and I think it's pretty minty. And then on my other side, you can see that basically all I'm really doing is using what's existing to kind of conform my piece so it's exactly like the old one. So once I get it welded on the outside, I'll come in here and I'll cut this off, and then I'll weld this inside piece to my new piece, and will be brand new. So I got this thing welded all the way around, along with the reliefs that I cut in it. And then on the other side, what I did was I cut this whole piece right out. So this is my Swiss cheese piece that was inside my wheelhouse. And now this is what I have. This is my new piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to weld on the inside to my new piece all the way around. I'll weld up my screw holes, and we'll have a complete wheelhouse. So we're back here, and my piece is all welded all the way around. And then I'll show you the inside. And then I cut this, and then I hammered it flush, and then I welded the whole inside. So now, and I welded up all my holes that I used to hold it in place. Now I'm going to get the grinder out and clean up and grind up all these welds, and I'll show you what it looks like when we're done. Okay, so here's our spare tire weld. I hammered it out, dollied it out, filed it, ground it. It looks pretty good. I'll marglass all around the edge where my seam is, and finish it off, and it should look pretty minty. I'll roll this over so you can see what the inside looks like. So here's our inside view, and you can see where I cut it on the inside in a circular fashion to remove that piece, and then I welded it all on the inside. It's all been ground, wire brushed, and it's pretty smooth. I'm going to take and marglass this on the inside as well as the outside, and that'll seal it up real nice. All right, folks, so here we are. Our spare tire well is pretty much all repaired. I had ground it, wire brushed it, got it all prepped up. I put this marglass around the seam, and as you can see, I got a really sweet piece. Once this is finished off, it's going to look awesome. I will bring the other camera around and I'll show you what the inside looks like. So here's the inside of our spare tire well. I think it looks great. Once this is smoothed over, it'll look just like new. I mean, I think it looks super. As our rear body panel's all done, our spare tire well on the outside just has the seam around here that I kind of finished off. And now I'm gonna work my way through the rest of this body. I mean, I'm gonna seal up these seams that somebody else did, you know, maybe throw a few tacks there like I did there, and just look and see if we have anything we got to deal with like this, and might be almost done with the welding and patching, and we can move on to be doing some body work. So thanks for tuning in to the 240Z project. This week we got the rear body panel replaced, and we replaced the base of our spare tire well, and then next week we'll be moving on to finish off any soft spots we got on the floor, sealing some things up under there, and then after that we're pretty much going to be on. I am waiting for a hood to come, and then we can get that hood fitted, and we'll have almost all of our pieces fitted onto the car at that point. So thanks for tuning in. Please like and subscribe, and good luck on your project.